What's going on, y'all? Podcast episode 126. Hope everyone's having a good week. It's Thursday, and back at the sauna, back at the gym, early morning. It is 6:10 in the morning right now, and man, I just feel like I don't feel good today, to be honest. I'm just real tired, dealing with some stress, and didn't sleep very well last night. But here I am, you know. I feel like just because you have a bad night's rest, or you don't feel the greatest when you wake up in the morning, it's no excuse to take a day off of growing you know, for you. And, I always say, your best is going to look different every day, My best yesterday was the best I had yesterday. And my best today is the best I have today. So, I'm just trying to do the best I can with what I got today, with the energy I have today. So it was tough, man, getting through my workout, and we're kind of on the last leg here. And at the end, I saved the sauna for the end, so I kind of feel like I made it, But man, it's been a crazy week for me personally. Without going into too much detail. And I realized this week that sometimes you have to have these crazy weeks or difficult times in your life to figure out what's most important. Because when you're going through the pain, that's when you're most thankful, I think, because you're trying to grasp at the things that have meaning in your life, because they make you feel good. They make you remember the good times, And like I said, I don't want to go through I don't want to talk about what I'm going through, because I'm not through it yet. So once I've made it through, then I'll come back and I might talk about it, but we'll get there, man, Man, I don't have, you know what, do I can't remember. You know what I do, man? Wow, that's embarrassing. See, my mind's just like jumbled up. I do have a song dropping this Friday. Man, I apologize. That's kind of uncalled for, but it's just been like I said, it's been kind of a crazy week for me. But yeah, I do have a song dropping this Friday. It's called Smile, and it's with my homies Sadistic and Joaquin. It's just a fun little banger, man. Another little banger off the album. I'm excited to share it with y'all. Now, I apologize for not remembering. It's always nice to drop, to be honest, man. It's nice to drop a single, get it out there. And man, I did make some new merch, so go check out the new merch. I got the link in my bio on Instagram. I'm actually excited about the designs, man. They're real fun, and they're just unique to me, and and the movement that we have going on. So I've been at it, man, really. You know, that's another thing. Like, even though it's been a struggling week for me mentally, I've found solace and peace in just doing things musically that, you know, I typically would put on the back burner or just not really feel like doing. It's weird because I've actually found like peace in doing that shit. Kind of the business and analytics side of making music. Yeah, it's been weird. Like, it's kind of been a little bit of a shift. So I'm like, you know what? My whole thought process was like, look, if I'm already going to be struggling mentally, I might as well knock out some hard shit. And maybe knocking out that hard shit will break these barriers down. I mean, that's really what we're doing every day, really, is just breaking these barriers down. You know, breaking the barriers down of our fears, of our comfort zone. Breaking the barriers down of the shit that we just don't like to do. And I think that the more barriers that you break down along the way, the more free you end up becoming. So, break more barriers down, man. Just see what happens. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. Nobody said it would be easy. But I think once you get through it and you look back at all the hard shit that you did along the way, you end up respecting yourself a little bit more. And when you respect you, others start to respect you as well. Because they see, like, damn, this guy's he works hard, he's got confidence, and he's a man of purpose, of value. You know, we constantly wonder how to make more money. We constantly wonder how to be more valuable, how to be more productive. Well, start with you, man. Break more barriers down. Break the barriers down that you got up in your life. Break those barriers down and create more freedom right where you're at. You know, stop wishing for $1 million when you can't even break down the barriers that are right there in front of you. That's where the $1 million is, right there. So, stop wishing, start doing, baby. Especially when times get tough. Especially when you feel like you're struggling. You know? Yeah, I'm struggling, but I don't have to live in this struggle forever. It's just a season. Yeah, I'm depressed, but I don't have to live in depression forever. You know, depression is not my title. It's not who I am. It's just a battle that I'm fighting. And it's a tough battle, don't get me wrong. It is tough. But at the end of the day, just because it's tough doesn't mean that I'm just gonna succumb to it, just let it defeat me. You know? You know, there's too many people living without purpose right now in life, thinking that social media and everything else is going to give them that purpose, that feeling of gratification. And that's just not true. You know, I could have 1 million followers on Instagram, but if I'm not breaking down the barriers that are holding my life captive in chains, what's it worth? What's it worth, baby? That's the question. So, I'm going to take a quick break because it looks like I'm running out of storage. This episode's going to be kind of messy, but it's just a barrier, baby. Breaking it down, so give me just a minute. Alright, my bad. Sorry about that. Man, sauna feels nice in the morning though, I will say. It's been like hot and cold in Cincinnati, so the weather's kind of been shitty and all over the place. In the mornings it's been pretty chilly though, so it is nice to get in the sauna and just kind of cool off, or warm up I should say. Man, I've been I think I talked about this on one of my previous episodes, but I've recently been doing a brain dump book or brain dump journal, just kind of writing out these thoughts that have been kind of just up in my brain, and just wanted to kind of get them out on paper and just go back and look at them. And I feel like it's really kind of helped me, especially during these times of struggle. You know, I actually started the book last week, so like before things kind of hit the fan. So, you know, it's been cool to, like, even though I'm struggling, to go back to stuff that I wrote down even just last week, you know, and just remind myself of positive messages and things that I need to know, that I already know, but I just needed a reminder, you know. I do feel like that's helped me during these times. I think the biggest thing with any season of struggle or depression is just writing out the things that are causing it. Just write it out, name it. Name everything that's taken away your peace. You know, we go back to breaking down the barriers. Well, that's one of them. You got to identify the barriers first before you know how to break them down. Name it. Then, once you have them all named, then write down what you think it would take for you to overcome them, to fight them, to combat them. You know? And I also suggest, you know, when doing that, when naming it, writing down how you're going to fight it, go to a place that makes you happy, man. You know? Give yourself some space to really even just be able to think in general. You know, this week's been tough for me, but one thing I have given myself is just some space to think. And that's really kind of helped. So name it, write down how you fight it, give yourself some space. And then also just give yourself some grace. You know, you're not going to be perfect. It's not going to magically fix itself right away. That's just not how life works. You know, it's going to take some time. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. I think my time is almost up here in the sauna. So I'm going to pause it again and I'll meet you back in the car. It's just getting real hot in here, so I'll meet you back here in just a minute. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Told you this episode was all over the place, but you know, it's all good, baby. It's gonna be like that sometimes. It ain't always gonna be perfect. But hey, we made it. We made it, baby. The workout was tough. I didn't feel like doing it. But we did it anyway. You know? We're just breaking these barriers down the best way we can, giving the best that we got. And it's not always going to be easy. Life is never easy. Life is always hard. You know, it's just like a video game. When you play on the harder levels, that's when the game's more fun. You know, if you're playing, I like to play Madden, but if you're playing Madden on rookie all the time and you're just killing the computer, you slowly lose interest. It's just not fun. You know, it's fun at first, and you have a lot of success doing it, but it's just not as fun. You know, when it's on a harder level and you're struggling to get through it, you start to celebrate the successes, even if they're small, a little bit more. You know? Going back to the Madden reference, you know, if you're playing all Madden and, you know, you're in the fourth quarter, you're down by 7, you got to score a touchdown. You know, you're going to start to celebrate those little successes, those little first downs, those little dump passes that, you know, you pick up 7 yards, you pick up 8 yards. Because you know that it's ultimately going to lead to that end goal. So life is hard, but that's the reason why life is also beautiful. It's beautiful because it's hard, and we got to go through these struggles to recognize how beautiful life really is. It's part of the process. Man. Breaking barriers, breaking them down this morning. It's not always going to look pretty. Just like all these cuts, just like me forgetting that I have a song dropping this Friday. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is until it ain't. Man. 6:30 in the morning. Already got my workout in. About to go home, shower up, kiss the fam goodbye for the rest of the day, and then get to work. Get to work. Trying to break the barriers down of all things that are stealing my joy, stealing my peace, and stealing my purpose. You know, I think it's tough to see when things are stealing those. But when you create that awareness of exactly what it is that's stealing all your life away, your peace, your joy, your purpose, that is when you start to evolve back into the person that you're meant to be. You know? A to-do list is great. But if your to-do list is filled with shit that you ain't meant to do, fuck a to-do list. If I'm not meant to be doing something, why do I guilt trip myself into not doing it? You know, why do I let that steal my joy, my peace, my purpose? Breaking barriers. Breaking them down. You know what's funny too is I may not get anybody that listens to this or watches this video or whatever it is, and that's fine. Because even if I'm just doing this for me, you know, at least I'm doing something of meaning, backed by purpose, that's giving me joy and giving me peace. Especially when I'm struggling. You know, it might seem like a brave thing to do to keep all your struggles inside and never tell anybody about it. Or never tell anybody when you're struggling. You know, especially as men, I feel like men are so used to just coping. You know, when somebody asks how we're doing, oh, I'm doing good, man, doing good. Or when everything is going wrong, our natural response is, oh man, it's all good. It's all good. But what if it's not, man? What if it's not? Why can't we admit when things aren't good? Why can't we admit when we aren't good? You know? I'm tired of dismissing my feelings. When I'm struggling and I don't feel good, I'm tired of lying to people around me just so I don't freak them out or, you know, make them wonder, like, oh man, he's always good. Like, what's his problem? Or just for the sake of like looking vulnerable. Like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of dismissing it. You know, when I'm not good, I want to tell people I'm not good. I don't want to lie. I don't want to hide behind lies. You know, when I'm not good, I need to admit it. Because if I walk around telling everybody, you know, it's all good, dude, I'm lying to myself. I'm actually hurting more. Because inside I'm screaming. Inside I'm struggling. And I want to get it out. But I just keep lying to everybody. It's all good. It's all good. I'm good. No more lies. No more running. No more hiding. You know? I think it's more brave when you can admit when you're not good. Especially to the people that you love the most. You know, if you lie to them and tell them you're good when you're not, you're lying to them. You're not allowing them to fulfill their purpose as a friend or as family, as a parent, as a spouse, as a boss, whatever. So, if it's not all good, don't tell me it's all good. We got to work through these things together, man. You know, we're losing sight of that with social media and all this bullshit pressure in the world. All these bullshit distractions that are taking our minds off what's really important. We're losing sight of the people around us. You know, when did we stop caring about the people around us on a deeper level than just what they post on Instagram and Facebook? You know? That's only like maybe a tenth of what's really going on in their life. You know, those are just highlights. What about the 90%? You know, the feelings that they're going through every day, the struggles they're having with their family, or financially, or just mentally, or, you know, what's going on with their self-confidence. what's going on with their dream, their purpose. You know, yeah, they're posting pictures of them and the fam on the beach, sipping pina coladas. But inside, I guarantee they're struggling. So, I guess I just say all that to just, you know, and somebody's just constantly, it's all good, it's good, I'm good. You know, maybe we should really check on them. Maybe we should really take time and just check on the people that we love the most. Break these barriers. Breaking these barriers down. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Keep doing the day. I feel like I've hit it hard this morning. Even though I didn't feel like doing it. Even though I'm struggling. I hit it hard. Hit it hard anyway. Not to cause more suffering in my life, but to ultimately lead to more peace. It's crazy, man. It's snowing here in Cincinnati again. And tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 60s. It's wild. I'll leave it at that. Go check out my new song tomorrow, Smile, featuring Joaquin and Sadistic. And new album on the way. Getting real close, baby. Real close. Got new merch out. And yeah, I apologize for all the cuts and, you know, just me kind of fumbling through this, but we're just breaking barriers down, baby. So much love. I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a good weekend. And let's get it, baby. Much love. Peace.